Global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned. Hello, guys, welcome to Global Happenings today. We have a trending news here for you. And the headline of the news reads Buhari Minister petition Buhari. See details. But before we go on with details of the news and further analysis, we'd like to encourage you to please subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button and also on the bell icon so that you can get notification anytime we publish videos on YouTube. Alright, let's look at the news in detail. Dr. Isa Ibrahim, who is the Minister of Communication and Digital Economy, has petitioned the President Muhammadu Buhari over plans to cede collection of stamp duty to Federal Inland Revenue Service. It was also learned that Ibrahim has written to the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Mrs. Zainab Ahmed, opposing the plan to remove the Nigerian Postal Service from collection of stamp duty. Stamp duty has emanated from the requirement that stamps should be affixed on all legal documents for authenticity. However, given dwindling revenue generated by Nipost, the postal organization has hired consultant and agent to boost its capacity to raise force compliance with Stamp Duty Act passed by the National Assembly in 2014. The duty became more conspicuous when in 2016 the Central Bank of Nigeria asked money deposit banks through a circular to deduct 50 naira stamp duty on every electronic transfer with a value of 1,000 and above. Since then, Federal Inland Revenue Service has been contending that it has the responsibility to collect all duties and finally got the House of Representatives to insert this responsibility in a proposed amendment to the Stamp Duty Act. One of our correspondents learned that the Communication Minister has written both to Buhari and Ahmed to ensure the retention of stamp duty as responsibility of Nipost. Although details of the petition to Buhari were still sketchy as all the time where this report was being filed, Ibrahim confirmed his opposition to the plan in an interactive session with journalists in Abuja on Friday. Ibrahim said it would be injustice to transfer stamp duty collection from Nipost to FIRS, insisting that Nipost should collect the duty on behalf of the federal government. He said that he had already reached out to Buhari to state his position on the matter. He added that he has also made his position known to the finance minister. The minister said, and I quote, "To me, stamp duty should be collected by Nipost the same way the Nigerian Customs Service collects custom duties. The Federal Inland Revenue Service have been working on being the agency that collects stamp duty. It started before my appointment and I only got to know when the situation has deteriorated. I intervened by informing Mr. President that Nipost should be the one to collect stamp duty." Ibrahim went further to explain that FIRS has summoned a meeting of some stakeholders without involving the Ministry of Communication and Digital Economy and Nipost to deliberate on which agencies should collect the revenue. The stakeholders, who the minister said were working for FIRS interests, recommended that the Revenue Service should be the organization that collects stamp duties. He said he would continue to challenge the injustice. And in his word, he said, "As far as I am concerned, this is one of the injustices that should be challenged, and I will continue to challenge it." He dismissed reports that the federal government has already decided that FIRS should henceforth collect stamp duty. Ibrahim said, and I quote, "It is not true that the federal government has decided that the FIRS should collect stamp duty. I have been at the Federal Executive Council meeting and I know that it has not been agreed that FIRS should collect revenue. The government will decide, but we can advise." The labor union in Nipost has protested at the National Assembly and picketed the Abuja headquarters of the Ministry of Finance over move to cede the duty collection to FIRS. Speaking on his plan for the postal service, Ibrahim said the federal government intended to set up a property and development company from the organization. The plan is in place with the partial commercialization of the agency. Shedding further light on the plan, Ibrahim Isa explained that Nipost has over 3,000 properties in strategic locations across the country, noting that most of the assets were currently in a dilapidated condition. He said the government would not allow them to waste. According to him, efforts were being made to reposition Nipost to generate more revenue for the government. Similarly, the minister disclosed that the Nigerian Communication Commission has been directed to provide security agencies with the biodata of any suspect within 60 minutes whenever a SIM card was used in a criminal activity. He said that there was no unregistered SIM card in the country since September 25, 2019, following the order issued to the NCC to block all unregistered SIM cards. The minister agreed that the directive on unregistered SIM card had led to a reduction in the cases of kidnapping across the country. The minister also gave an update on the ongoing probe of spectrum license awarded in the country by the National Frequency Management Committee, noting that the move was aimed at validating information. He disclosed that the agency involved, the NCC and the National Broadcasting Commission, were complying with the audit. One asked for more time and the other one sent a report which needed to be updated, and we asked for more detail. That's the news. All right, we want to look at this critically because I just love this man. I'm talking about the Minister of Communication, for him to understand his position, knowing that the duty of collection of such duty should be his ministry and not that of FIRS. I strongly believe that the reason why this is happening is the fact that each of them may have been given a target to meet, in terms of revenue generation. And Nipost is one of the agencies set up by government to generate revenue, but they because of the sluggishness before now, in respect to dispatch of, a lot of things, most people seem not to be trading with them, and as such, if you watch out the staff string there, it's not really as expected. And I think because of that, they seem to buttress the fact that they are still overly important, in the area of revenue generation. But if I will be in position of the minister, as much as you're fighting for, the stamp duty, not as much as you're fighting that the stamp duty should be paid to your own ministry, there are still other ways that you can work out to ensure that you increase the revenue generation by your agency. Not just to, have to battle it up with other people and all of that. That had already been, and based on, let me just explain this, based on what, the stamp duty is all about. Most legal document, you've got to buy stamp, to put there. But, the issue is that they are not generating so much revenue when it comes to stamp duties on, legal document. They just one or two times it happened. Yeah, people don't really, get involved in, creating a lot of legal documents and all of that. In a day, you may not have up to 20 or pay, a state or something, or even if it may be more. But it's not enough to handle the issue of, recurring expenses in the ministry. The main one, which is overly important, is the fact that, stamp duties are meant to be paid anytime that there is a transfer that is above 1,000 naira. And, that would have helped him to meet up. That's why he had decided to petition even the Minister of Finance and even the presidency that everything must be done to ensure that it returns back to him. But the question is, Nigerians are not interested whether it is, handled by FIRS, whether it is handled by Ministry of Communication or whatever. The most important thing is accountability, because the truth of the matter is so much in terms of transfer, online electronic transfers have been done on a regular basis. And Nigerians expect that, accountability should be the watchword here, not trying to struggle who will be the one who is going to do the transfer, who will be the one to account for it and all of that. Because for me, people also believe that the reason why he's really agitating for it is so that, there will be possibly there will be some level of fingering and all of that of the revenues and stuff like that. So that's why he's really agitating for it. I don't know if you have much to say about this also.
A lot of people believe in winning team. FIRS have been able to show and prove to the government that they deliver. For some time now, for so many years now, FIRS have been remitting good revenue back to the government. Some Nigerians still living in Nigeria would agree with me that it's as if Nipost is dead. When people are navigating and getting improved, Nipost remained backward. They never moved with time. Their activities are still very much archaic. And if you watch the staff trends, sometimes you go enter Nipost, you're wondering, are these guys on duty? Are they still with us? Are they still doing? We have moved beyond sending letter via Nipost. We are not doing emailing. I would have expected that Nipost, as at then, also should find innovative way of engaging the people around them, but they didn't, and they lost a lot of persons. A lot of persons moved on. A lot of Nigerians moved on. Some of them started using those who are ready and willing. Nipost will take you some quality 2-3 weeks sometimes. Yes, if it is international, it can take 2-3 weeks. Why some other faster agencies courier services will take like 3 days, and they will tell you fully delivered. All they will ask you for just extra dough, extra money. But Nipost, whether extra or not, they are still so slow, so lagadious in their way. So many Nigerians moved on. So a whole lot of these things that should have given them services and income were lost as well. So when it comes to general revenue generation, they were so small. And since FIRS have been delivering, it was only normal for the federal government to give it to FIRS to still deliver. Now they're hearing that word stamp duty. They believe, since it is stamp duty and all stamp duty come from Nipost, that particular agency, that particular income revenue line should come back to Nipost. But let's be real, when you do online transfers, is there anything they stamp on it? They don't. It's just a title.
Yes. It's like
I believe it's a tag. Yes, it's a form of tax. I believe it's just a name given. Yes. So they're attaching since it is now stamp. Nipost is not trying to enter into it. Look, this is stamp. Then there has to be a parastatal that is handling it. But be that as like my colleague has rightly said, it doesn't matter which parastatal is handling it. It doesn't matter. Just make sure it is transparent and it is properly documented, and the revenue generated should be put in proper use, not some set of people here, like he has rightly said, the minister rightly said, he says some of these agencies, some of his agencies in several states are not debilitated. Their buildings are in a bad state, which means by the time those stamp duty comes in, the first thing he will do is to renovate can just imagine. He's not even. Do you understand? That means you are not even thinking out of the box. You're thinking, how will Nigeria help you to renovate? It's not being innovative, and that's why Nipost is where it is today, because they were lacking the innovative ideas. Always thinking within, how do we get money? Why not think out of the box? Just the way other agencies have been doing. But that's my take on this, really.
All right, recommendation for them and recommendation for Nipost right now. That's for Ministry of Communication, who is in charge of Nipost. I think one of the things that they should be looking at, just like my colleague has rightly said, is the case of innovation. Ideas should pop up. First of all, get Nigerians enlightened that your services has greatly improved. If you want to, improve on the revenue generation base of your ministry and be seen useful, I think that's the first thing they should look at. Get Nigerians sensitized that you have improved. Give us detailed information about the swiftness in delivery, because one of the things, and also the security of the things that we want to deliver, because for as long as now I've noticed that oftentimes when things are en route Nipost, sometimes it get missing. I can still remember some time ago, I bought something from a particular company outside the country, and it was a ring, a golden ring, and it cost me some reasonable amount of money, and they keep telling me that it has entered Nigeria and was supposed to pass through Nipost, and I waited and waited and waited. It never came. I keep going there to ask them questions. So after a while, I had decided, hey, I'm not going to be using these guys again for anything. Because if you have to use this, the likes of Transmax or these guys, DHL and the likes, swiftly, your letters are just the same day. You get it and you receive a call. Hey man, we've gotten your letter. We've gotten this. Your friend will tell you I've gotten. They have tracker number and all of that. So people seem to respect them more. So if you are thinking of improving revenue generation for your ministry, please forget about muzzling over stamp duty. Just like my colleague has rightly said, for me, those stamp duties are actually taxes. They are duties. I think what is making him to struggle so much for it is the fact that it's that name on it, stamp duty is the problem. So they can remove it and just put the duties there. Maybe that will help him to rest and think of find innovative ideas and put rest to whatever petition he's putting across. That's where we're going to leave it. Please go to our comment section. Let us interact. What's your position on this petition by the Minister of Communication that stamp duties should be, referred back